Yo, what's going on everybody? It's Spesh and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're coming at you again with another one of my first time doing videos. And honestly, this is going to be my first time ever doing weed, as you've seen in the title, ever smoking a joint, ever going on a date with Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. Basically, let's hop straight into the story. This happens about, I want to say, the summer holidays from year 8 to year 9, so I was probably like 13 around this time in my life. And I just got with this girl that I really liked. I was in high school, obviously, and I wake up one morning in my bedroom, and my bedroom is just like this little box bedroom, right? You could probably get two people stand up and like they would reach to both the sides, and the second person would have a bent arm, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a big room. And then my mum's room was right next to mine, and she had like a paper wall, so like, not literally paper but paper thin walls. And I just woke up this one morning and I just heard someone shout, "Whoever that is, stop making that fucking noise, like I'm trying to sleep, it's blah blah blah, whatever time in the morning." And now this was strange because it was only my mum that I was aware was in that bedroom, but it turns out she had this new boyfriend, and we're gonna call him Stefan. And basically Stefan smoked weed, and I figured this out because me and my mate Frankie were walking home from school, and we get into the house and we smell this smell, and I'd smell it in the morning as well, but I wasn't sure what it is. And when I smell it when I walk in the house, Frankie goes, "Oh fucking hell," and I'm like, I think my stepdad smokes weed, and I'd never really like smoked weed or like been around weed at this point in my life, so I didn't know really what it was. And Frankie had smoked weed himself before, and he was like, "You think, Spesh, like, do you think he smokes weed?" And I was like, "I don't know, I never smelt it, bro." And then we just continue to walk upstairs and get changed, ready to go out to just do what we're doing. And we just leave the house. Obviously I didn't grab any weed off of him, didn't rob him or anything like that, not in this episode, not in this story. But yeah, we left the house, and then that was it for this encounter, right? But when I smelt the weed, it was like this thing inside my brain where it's like, that smells so good, I really want to try it one day. So I just put it in my head when I went to school the next few days to be trying to find anyone that could like get me weed, but I didn't have any money, so I was trying to like stinge and get it for free, like, "Please, can you just let me hop on a Zoot?" to like all these people that I knew smoked weed. And this one girl called Mia, who coincidentally was also Frankie's girlfriend's like friend, Frankie's girlfriend, let's call her Cassidy, right? Conveniently she ended up smoking weed. Like she smoked weed and had been doing it since like, I think it was actually year 6, which, by the way, I don't agree with that. You should not be smoking weed at that young in your life. It will mess up your brain cells if you continue to do it as you're getting older. Trust me, I know from smoking from 13 to now. I mean, it hasn't really messed up my brain cells, but like, I'm a bit more less memorable than what I should be. And especially with all the other drugs that I've done as well, it probably has messed up my brain in some way, to be honest with you. But so she smokes weed, and I managed to get her to be like, "Oh yeah, right, so you can smoke weed with us, with me, Frankie, Cassidy and our mates, on this Friday." But a few days after this, obviously I said I was with this girl that I really liked, right? I was dating her, and we had plans to meet up, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna like smoke weed over meeting up a girl, because I'd never smoked weed before, right? This feeling shit, or feeling for a Zoot, I wasn't feeling for it. I had no idea what it felt like. But so I met up with her, and then when I was out with her, I bumped into bloody Mia, and Mia turns around to me and she's like, "Oh, you can forget ever smoking weed with us again. You said you were staying home." Because I didn't know what to say to her. Like, I didn't know if I should say, "Oh yeah, I'm going out with this girl," or what, because I just felt kind of bad, like abandoning plans. Bear in mind, I should have probably told her that I couldn't meet her instead of just like not saying anything. It was a bit of a idiot move from me, you know. But yeah, so it comes to the next few days after this, and luckily for me, Mia had invited me back out to come and smoke weed with him on a different day, because Frankie got into head, so he was like, "I really want to smoke weed with him," and all this stuff. Proper bigging me up, I bet. It's probably saying it was going to be hella funny. Look, he's never smoked weed before, just watch this fool, watch what happens to him. And so it comes to the day, and I remember just being really excited like all throughout the other days. I was like, "Bro, if it smells this good, how is it going to taste?" Now, yes, I know some of you might not like the smell of weed, but I absolutely love the smell of weed. It is so good. I love the taste of it as well. But yeah, so it comes to the day, and we all arrange to meet up. It's after school. It's on a Saturday actually, so it's not even after school. And we're all arranging to meet up, and we end up agreeing to meet up at this bench which overlooked the canal, which was away from most houses and stuff. It had like a few apartments, but it was on like a new build that had like quite a lot of nature on it. So there's just like a path that went behind it, and then those trees all around the benches, or that obviously overlooked the canal. And there was like a bin behind it with like a bit of grass which you could just see through the through the trees, which weren't too many trees, probably more like a bush than trees, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we all arranged to meet here, and on the way up to meeting there, obviously me and Frankie, we meet up together, because he literally lived down the road from me. Like literally I would walk out my house, turn right, walk straight, and his house was right there, like literally less than 5 minutes. And yeah, so we meet up, we start walking all the way back down to this to like the place that we're going to, and obviously we had to stop in a Tesco on the way there. Like it was a big Tesco, massive Tesco, like probably the biggest, yeah, it was the biggest shop in my area. Actually, it might have been the biggest shop from my area to town. Oh no, other than the Iceland was pretty big. But yeah, so we go in there, and I remember correctly, right? Well, roughly correctly. I don't remember everything. I remember a few things. We got Doritos chili heat wave. We got some pasties, and I'm pretty sure we got some popcorn and some drinks as well. Because he was like, "No, we're gonna get munchies, and we're gonna have dry mouth, especially you, because it's your first time. Like, especially me, because it was my first time." And I was like, "Alright, cool." Again, I didn't have any money. I might have robbed a few things. I'm pretty sure like I robbed like a Monster or something, and then Frankie like just bought everything else. And we ended up, after this, going straight to the spot where we was meant to be at. Probably like half an hour walk there. And we get there, and no, before we get there actually, I remember now, we go to Mia's first, because she hasn't left yet. And we go in there, and Frankie's girlfriend Cassidy's in there, and so's Mia. And Mia had these cute ass chihuahuas, like she had 2 cute ass chihuahuas, and I remember we were just playing with them, like winding them up and stuff like that. And she goes into a back garden, right? Mia does. Like she gets a few drinks, few alcoholic drinks, and she goes out into a back garden. And then I hear her speaking, and she's like, "I don't know if I should show Spesh this." And then she goes, "Spesh, come here." I'm like, "What the fuck is she showing me? Like, what has she got out in her back garden that she's showing me then? Is it gonna be like a motherfucking like anaconda or?" And then I get out the door, and do you know what she's pointing at? I look at her and I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Turn around." I turn around, and I shit you not, she's just got like a weed plant in a pot growing in her back garden right next to her back door. And yeah, this is what we were smoking. Like she would just grab a bit off of that, and then she would smoke that. And we ended up going from here, because we rolled all the joints whilst drinking and playing with the dogs. Well, I say we, it was Mia that rolled all the joints. And then we went out of her house, probably like, I want to say about 5-6 minutes around the corner to this like little bench spot. She didn't live too far from it. No, actually, wait, that's a lie. Now I remember it correctly. I thought she lived at the flat. She did not live at the flat, so it was like 10 minutes down the road. But yeah, so we walked all the way up there, and we sat down. And I remember Mia, she sat down on the bench overlooking the canal, that place that I described earlier. And she puts the zoot in her mouth, and she goes, ch-ch, sparks that zoot. And obviously she starts taking her buns, and I'm watching because I want to know how many buns on this I'm meant to take, because I ain't too sure. I already smelled like fags and vapes at this point, so I knew that you're meant to just like, obviously I knew what taking it back was, right? So yeah, she takes 3 buns on it, and then she passes it on. In the area that I was like brought up in, 3 bun pass on zoots, bro, that's standard, that was standard. And yeah, so she passes 3 bun, passes it on. The other person, 3 bun, passes it on, and I'm pretty sure it went for like 3 people before it got to me. And I was being a bit stupid about it, right? A bit of a weird guy, because I decided to have 3 bun, and on each bun I'll go like, and like hold it in for really long, and then let it out, and do the same thing until obviously I did it 3 times. And then yeah, so I did 3 buns on that, and I passed it back to Maddie, because it went, not Maddie, Mia, I called her Mia, right? I passed it back to Mia, because she's the one who passed that to me. Or did I call her Maddie? I think I called her Mia. So yeah, I passed it back to her, because she passed it to me, and then it goes back around the circle again. People are starting to say they're feeling high. I'm still sat here like, I'm not really feeling anything. I can taste the weed quite a lot, but I'm not really feeling anything just yet. Can smell it on my fingers, but I'm not really feeling anything. And then obviously the zoot gets back to me, and I look at it and I'm like, okay. and I take my other 3 bun, not the same as I did it last time because I noticed no one else was doing that, but I did like want to make sure I got every last bit of what I was smoking, so I held it in my lungs for quite long. After I did all 3 of the buns, I held it in for quite long, and then I let it out, and then obviously I passed it back to Mia, and then that, like, as it was coming back around the circle, I remember sitting there, and like, you know when you stand up too quick and you start to get that lightheaded fear, I sort of started to get that, but at the same time my eyes started going really, really heavy. Now bear in mind, since this time I've never had an experience like this on weed other than when I stand up too quick, when I've been smoking a lot. But yeah, my eyes started getting really heavy, and I remember my mouth, like, it started like salivating just a little bit, and I just sat down because I started feeling like dizzy, and I got like the spins a little bit. And when I was laying down, everything sort of just started to level out, and the spins and the dizziness started to go, and everything just felt like really calming. Like, it was really calming. And Mia turns around to me and she's like, "Hey Spesh, are you okay?" Because I was just behind the bench laying on like that little grass patch that I was on about near the bin. And I was like, "Yeah bro, I'm fucking chilling, just staring at the sky, waiting for like the rest of the dizziness to wear off," because it wasn't too nice, I'm not gonna be honest, the dizziness wasn't too nice, but the calming feeling and my eyes getting heavy, I did like that a little bit, And after this, obviously we continue to smoke more, right, and it gets to the point where I've got to walk home, and obviously I walk home with Frankie because we live quite far, and we live right next to each other, but Mia and everyone else, they don't, like, Frankie's girlfriend's staying at Mia's, and they're going back to theirs, so it's like, we've got like a 15-minute, 20-minute walk from there to there. I remember I said 5 minutes earlier to the Tesco, not to like these people's houses. These people's houses were a lot further from Tesco. And yeah, so we've got to walk all the way back, and I'm still, as soon as I stand up, I start to feel dizzy again, and it's like shit, and I'm walking, and I'm just trying to ignore the fact, like, of how dizzy I feel, but it's so hard, because it's like, I'm trying to walk, but I can barely see straight, bro, and then all of a sudden, I start getting like hot and cold sweats, and it wasn't too good, but hey, ever since this experience, I've never had an experience like this on weed again, and from most of my mates' first time experiences, I have heard that like your first time is usually your worst time, like it's usually the time you get the most high, and I can back that because I've smoked ounces, bro, and I haven't felt this high. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of this video. Nothing really happens too entertaining in this video, I know, but hey, it's my first time getting high, I'm not going to lie, make up a story. It is what it is. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, then please make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.